All right, so picture this. It's Christmas Eve, snow, carols, and Santa Claus is getting arrested.
Right, quite the image.
It's this really bizarre scenario that sets the stage for today's deep dive. And it comes from, believe it or not, an English learning source.
Which is fascinating in itself.
Exactly. It's not just teaching language. It's like this mini drama. You've got Santa, police, and even militant elves. Seriously.
Militant elves, okay.
So this isn't just some wild story. It feels like a bit of a puzzle.
Yeah.
Our mission today really is to unpack the practical vocabulary and phrases hidden in this really unexpected narrative.
Yeah, and connect that to maybe some broader cultural stuff too.
That's the plan.
It's actually a great example of how even, seemingly simple sources can have these hidden layers. It really challenges you to look a bit closer, doesn't it?
It really does. Makes you wonder what we miss sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's dive into this wild scenario our source lays out. Scene: Christmas Eve. Santa Claus. Or, Kris Kringle. Papa Noel. Baba Natal, depending where you are.
Right, lots of names.
Finds himself in a bit of a tight spot with the law.
A very tight spot. And the source is quite specific about his infractions. He was parked in a no parking zone. That's one.
Okay. Standard enough?
Then he was speeding. And on top of that, he had no ID.
No ID. That complicates things.
It does. And what's really interesting for, a language lesson is that these are very real-world police terms. Parked illegally, speeding, no identification.
Yeah, not just fantasy story stuff. These have real consequences.
Exactly. It makes you think how quickly things can escalate, even for Santa.
And the consequences were pretty immediate, right? The police, they booked him, which means...
Arrested him. Yeah, booked is slang for arrested.
Got it. And his sleigh.
Impounded. So basically taken away by the authorities, like car jail.
Car jail.
Yeah.
I like that. And you usually have to pay to get it out, right?
Typically, yes. Fines, fees, it adds up.
And the reindeer. Don't forget the reindeer.
Oh, right. They were taken to the city zoo?
The zoo. Wow. You can just imagine Santa's reaction. The source quotes him saying,
Christmas is ruined.
totally ruined.
And, thinking about that escalation parking ticket to impounded sleigh, jailed reindeer,
Yeah.
it does make you wonder, is that reflecting reality, how minor things snowball? Or is it just, drama for the lesson?
That's a really good point, especially since it is a learning source. They're probably trying to teach the weight of these words, like impounded and booked.
Makes sense. They want you to understand these aren't trivial things.
Right. And speaking of escalation, the story doesn't stop there. After Santa's despairing cry, things get even weirder.
Oh, they absolutely do. What happens next is completely out of left field. The source says elves show up.
Santa's helpers.
Well, yes, but described as aggressive. And they start shooting candy canes.
Shooting candy canes as weapons.
As weapons. Can you picture it? The police are obviously caught off guard. They yell, Mayday, Mayday, we're under heavy attack. We need backup.
Wow. Mayday call over candy cans.
Yeah.
And Santa.
Amidst all the chaos, naturally, he escapes. What a scene. Okay, so that chaos, it wasn't just for show. There's some key language packed in there. Let's break down the words the source specifically flagged. First, elves.
Right. Pretty straightforward. Santa's helpers, little people, pointy hats. Most people know elves.
And the second one, candy cane.
Also iconic Christmas imagery. That red and white striped candy shaped like a J, usually peppermint, often hung on trees.
Okay, those are the basics. Now let's get into 5 really important words the source highlights as key takeaways for you. First up, booked.
Right, we touched on this. Slang for arrested. The source gives that funny example.
Oh yeah, last week we booked this guy who claimed to be the Tooth Fairy.
Exactly. And that example, it's kind of a throwaway line, but it connects to something else, doesn't it? It opens up this little window into cultural stuff, like folklore mixing with legal terms.
That's a brilliant catch. Like, booked isn't just a word, it's a word used in a context that includes things like the Tooth Fairy. It hints at a whole shared background.
Precisely. It makes you wonder about the hidden cultural roots in everyday language. It really does. Okay, next word. Speeding.
This one's simpler. Just means going too fast, driving over the speed limit.
Got it. Then impounded.
We talked about this too. When your vehicle gets taken by the authorities, put in car jail, you need to know this term if you're dealing with traffic police, potentially.
Definitely. Fourth word. Ruined.
Means destroyed, messed up, basically beyond repair.
The source had some good examples, right? Like, our vacation is ruined because it rained the whole time.
Yeah, or you've ruined my favorite jeans if you spilled bleach on them or something.
Or the more serious one, your chances for a promotion are ruined if you, steal from work.
Right. It conveys that sense of something being completely wrecked.
Absolutely. And the fifth word, backup.
Means help, usually used in contexts like police or military needing assistance. Call for backup.
And this is where pronunciation becomes really key, which the source points out.
Yes, super important here. The source stresses this nuance. If you need help, you stress both syllables. B-A-up.
B-A cup. Got it.
But if you say back UP, stressing the second word.
That just means move backward, like telling someone to reverse their car.
Exactly. A small sound difference, but a huge meaning difference. It really shows why those little details matter in language.
Absolutely critical. Okay, so beyond single words, the source also gave us a couple of useful phrases.
It did. Two really good ones. First, claimed to behave.
Claimed to be or claimed to have. What does that imply?
It means you're reporting what someone said, but you're signaling that it might not be true. There's a bit of doubt implied.
Ah, okay. Like the police officer talking about the guy who claimed to be the tooth fairy. He's not saying the guy was the tooth fairy.
Precisely. It's a way to state something reported without endorsing its truth. The structure is usually claimed, followed by to be or to have. The source gives more examples too.
Like,
This woman claimed to be your wife, but she's not. Or Daniel claimed to be the son of a minister, but he was lying.
I see. Or about possessions.
Yeah. The criminals claim to have a gun. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. And this man here is claiming to know your father. Again, expressing what's being said with that layer of potential doubt. It's a really useful phrase for nuance.
Very useful. And the second phrase.
Under heavy. This phrase means you're affected by a large amount or intensity of something.
Like in the dialogue, the police were under heavy attack from the candy canes.
Exactly. A lot of attack. The source gives other common examples too, like under heavy fire, which means lots of gunfire, not literal flames.
Right. Intense gunfire.
Or someone important, like a president, might be under heavy security, meaning lots of bodyguards, intense protection.
So it conveys intensity, a large quantity of affecting someone or something.
Precisely. It's efficient language. And just like under heavy implies intensity, those cultural beliefs like the tooth fairy, they actually carry a surprising weight, don't they? Shaping childhood, maybe even popping up in unexpected places like police reports.
Which brings us back perfectly to that tooth fairy mention. So wrapping this all together, this deep dive, it started with this crazy Christmas arrest, right? It took us through some really practical language.
Booked, impounded, backup.
And now it's circled back to this cultural point raised by that tooth fairy comment.
It has. And the source actually takes a moment to explain the tooth fairy tradition for context.
Right. The idea that when a kid loses a baby tooth, you put it under your pillow.
And the tooth fairy comes, takes the tooth, leaves some money. It's a way to make losing a tooth less sad, maybe even a little exciting.
Sweet tradition. But here's where it gets even more interesting culturally. This isn't unique, is it?
Not at all. Many cultures have something similar. The source specifically mentions South America, where they often have the tooth mouse.
The tooth mouse, sometimes called Raton Perez.
That's the one.
Huh?
Or just raton. Same basic idea. Little mouse takes the tooth, leaves money, or a small gift.
It's just fascinating how one little detail in a language lesson, the tooth fairy reference, can suddenly open up this whole comparison of folklore across cultures. Shows how universal some experiences are, like losing teeth, even if the mythical helper changes.
It's really quite remarkable how this one short source managed to connect Santa Claus, police procedures, vocabulary, pronunciation, and then jump to comparative folklore with the tooth fairy and tooth mouse.
Yeah, it just shows how much you can unpack from content that seems simple on the surface. You just have to dig a little.
Look beyond the obvious.
So this deep dive, it really does show how these unexpected sources can be absolutely packed with valuable stuff, surprising facts. We went from Santa as a lawbreaker to language essentials.
And then hopped continents to look at childhood traditions, all from one source.
It underlines that idea that language makes the most sense in context, right?
Absolutely. And even really specific, maybe niche content can show you these bigger patterns in culture and how we communicate. It's about pulling meaning from wherever you find it.
And remember, our goal here is always to give you that shortcut, that way to feel well-informed, get those aha moments without drowning in information.
Exactly. A clear path through the noise. So maybe a final thought for you to chew on.
Okay, leave us with something to think about.
How might these things that seem totally unrelated, like Santa, a legal term like booked, a kid's myth like the tooth fairy or tooth mouse, how might they actually connect on a deeper level? What could they reveal about how different societies think about authority or growing up, or even just belief itself?
Hmm, that's interesting. What hidden connections might be lurking in the things you read or hear every day?
What other unexpected links are out there waiting to be found?